Hey everybody, Mike Naso here from podweather.com and Internet Partnership Radio with an update on Tropical Storm Dolly. And you can see the entire Atlantic Basin Dolly sitting here on the left edge of the screen in the Gulf of Mexico, moving towards the west-northwest at a pretty good clip, expected to slow down, strengthen into a potent hurricane, and make landfall somewhere near the Texas-Mexico border region. Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Dolly as of 11 p.m. Eastern Time. It was at 23.1 north, 92.8 west. Winds were 50 miles an hour, gusting to 65. It was moving west at 17. And if it were to continue on that track the next few days, it would go straight into Mexico. However, it's clearly expected to regain that west-northwest, then even bend a little northwest and make landfall. The current forecast point has it making landfall sometime between, say, Tuesday night and Wednesday night, so sometime Wednesday morning, afternoon, right near the northern Mexico, South Texas border region, officially in Mexico, but again, that's subject to change. Earlier today it was up here in Texas, it's been down in Mexico, and somewhere in this region expecting landfall, and it is expected to become a hurricane tomorrow and then eventually make landfall as a strengthening hurricane. The pressure is down now to 999 millibars. Now we do have hurricane warnings out for the Texas coastline all the way down to the Mexican coastline, as well as hurricane watches and tropical storm watches and warnings because of the approach of Dolly. And again, Dolly is going to be a sprawling system, but tightening up. The wind field is getting smaller as it moves on shore. We won't have to deal with that significant amount of a large wind radii, but certainly the stronger the storm gets, the worse the impact will be. Here's the latest infrared satellite loop, and you can clearly see that Dolly has been struggling, but right towards the end there, note this little gap here. This is trying to consolidate itself and form that inner core, and if it forms that ring of winds right around the center, which it appears to be doing, and consolidate and get some of that deep convection blowing up, this could become a hurricane by tomorrow and then strengthen until landfall. And that's going to be, as the Hurricane Center noted, is very likely to become a hurricane. However, even though conditions are favorable, the heat content where it's moving, it's a little bit cool eddy moving over a cool eddy. It might be slowing down. That may allow for a slower rate of strengthening. So it is expected to become a hurricane, but not quite a major hurricane, but still 85, 90 miles an hour, almost a Cat 2. It's quite possible it could even become a Cat 2 hurricane, so we're going to have to watch that. Looking close up on the uncolorized infrared, still pretty ragged, but you're starting to get kind of a donut shape, and so it's looking like something's trying to pop out there. So we'll see how this consolidates overnight and take a look at it in the morning. From the far water vapor view of the Gulf, you can see again this is a very large circulation. And that's been one problem. When we have a tiny, tight system, they're able to strengthen real quick or weaken real quick. With these larger systems, they can remain more ragged because you get the quick strengthening not with a ragged eye, but with a very tight inner core. And this system is trying to develop that tight inner core and have those thunderstorms right around it. And if it keeps this up and strengthens this overnight, we could have a hurricane by tomorrow approaching the Texas-Mexico border region, no doubt. Now, as far as that track is concerned, the computer models in here generally have it moving west-northwest and a bend to the northwest and back west. The Hurricane Center kind of going in the middle with a landfall in extreme northern Mexico, right on the border. But keep in mind, if this system has an eye wall, the northern eye wall can certainly go over Brownsville, Texas. It happened before, and it's bound to happen again sometime. But again, it could easily head up towards Corpus Christi. It could easily head down towards Matamoros, even south of Matamoros in Mexico. However, this general area appears to be ground zero for whatever Dolly will do, and it looks like a strengthening Category 1 hurricane at least. Now, the NAM shows it making landfall in about 42 hours in Texas and shows a pretty powerful hurricane based on different reflections from that model. You can see that the GFDL at 54 hours has it making landfall as a solid Cat 2 hurricane, 105 miles an hour, 978 millibars. And Corpus Christi's up in this region here, Brownsville down here, the eye coming in right in between, but the wind field's somewhat large, and we'll wait and see if that pans out. And the HWRF model at 54 hours had been showing a major hurricane. Now it's only showing a 65-mile-an-hour tropical storm coming inland in that same general region. We'll wait and see if that happens. Right now, the system is still not at this strength, so the pressure's about 1 millibar higher than what this is showing in 54 hours at landfall, so I'm not sure how accurate that is, but we'll wait and see on that one. Now, as far as strengthening is concerned, it has this very favorable high pressure over the top of it, this anticyclone. It's still a little bit off, but as it moves just a little bit further to the northwest, it's going to be perfect and aligned with that anticyclone perfectly. The conditions are ripe for strengthening, and it won't have to deal with any more shear as it has had to kind of contend with the last 24 hours. Now, as far as waters are concerned, there is kind of this little cool water patch in here that Dolly will be traversing, and if it slows down and spins over this region of the water, it could actually, stop strengthening. However, if it pulls a little bit further north, these waters are way, way, way above normal for the amount needed for a hurricane. You need 80 degrees. These waters are well up 87 degrees. Really, even these cooler shades are well what you need for even a major hurricane. So there's just a chance that the strengthening might not be as rapid as it would be, say, if the hurricane were up here over these types of waters, but still water's plenty warm for Dolly. So in the final analysis, here's Dolly getting more symmetric. You're getting that high pressure starting to show on the satellite, starting to consolidate near the center. Very likely to become a hurricane. Not as likely to become a major hurricane, but you have to be prepared if you live anywhere really from Matagorda, Texas, all the way down to Tampico, Mexico. In this whole region here, especially right near the border, Brownsville, Matamoros, Mexico, for a landfall of at least an 85 to 90 mile an hour Category 1, and that's the upper Cat 1. Remember what Claudette did to Matagorda, Port O'Connor in July of 03? Let's see if Dolly is just as bad as that. If it is, you're looking at a nasty impact, no doubt. So I'm Mike Naso from IPR. We're starting up live coverage mode on Internet Partnership Radio. You can listen in over the next 24, 48, 72 hours before, during, and after the landfall of Dolly. We'll continue to have live content 24/7, whether it's special NOAA weather radio or our own live coverage, podcasts, whatever you need. You can find it at Internet Partnership Radio. Go to IPR365.com, hit the streams, and stay tuned. I'll see you in the morning with an update on Dolly, and we'll see what Dolly has done.